Once you get the stance, now we can talk about what an athletic stance is. The snowboard stance is pretty static, but we don't stay static in snowboarding, we move. And so we have a dynamic balance, and we have an athletic stance that's nice and neutral, where we have even weight on both feet. We have our head over our shoulders over our knees, and our knees are right over our toes. Nice and balanced, and we're ready to go. Hands are out to the side, so that way we have them out for balancing.
We want our feet roughly shoulders or hip width apart. Nice flexed stance with our ankles, knees, and hips are muscularly and skeletally supported, and we're just nice, neutral, flexed athletic stance. This is our basic stance for snowboarding. And from here, we can gently move our center of mass and our weight out over our toes or out over our heels, and just start to find that nice flexed roll. Just rolling from toes to heels, and gently find that neutral balance position. We can do the same thing left to right. Move a little bit left over the left foot, a little bit right over the right foot, and explore that little bit of fore and aft movement. Again, finding that nice center stance.
Think of them being able to rock onto the balls of your feet to get some pressure over the toes rather than just picking up the heels. If you just pick up the heels, your heels are gonna move. We don't want that. We don't want that on the snowboard. We want a good flat foot on the bottom of the boots and just rocking onto the balls of the feet, rocking onto the heel. If you can do that and wiggle the toes just a little bit like I am with my fingers, you're good to go.
Once your student's comfortable with these movements, we're gonna accentuate the movements a little bit more. So we're actually gonna really flex down out over our toes, move our center mass up and over and down onto our heels. You can help them by holding their hands and help them just really feel what that's like to edge out over the toe and heel of their boot. One of the ways that we'll teach throughout this is teach a movement on the ground, and then teach it statically on the machine, and then teach it on the machine with it moving. So we're gonna use the same movement patterns throughout the lesson, but we're gonna do it in different places. So giving them that opportunity to get comfortable with the movement before we take it to the machine.
Within AASI, we recognize 4 board performances that are correlated with fundamental movements of us as a body, as a human. Those 4 board performances are tilt, twist, pivot, and pressure. We're gonna be mainly and working with the tilt and pressure. And those are the only 2 real components of the 4 board performances that we're gonna address with the simulator. I'm now tilting over towards my toe edge, directly underneath my toes, or over on my heel edge, directly underneath my heels. So just by doing this, managing the pressure from toes to heels, I'm gonna be able to affect the tilt and the pressure over the board. Those movements are gonna be flexion and extension movements. The other movement that we have is rotary as a person, and those are gonna affect more the pivot and the twist of the board. Those aren't gonna be covered here. That's when we get out on the snow.